The wisdom that peruses every activity of God. The wisdom that gives
Now, get set for the good word of God with Pastor Obed.
Pastor Obed, always a blessing.
How will a man fight a bull on his knees? Do you know why? Let us go and look at the meaning of Orion. Mo say, hey, Africa, Sanamte. Kaimami. Obia was soon with Jimmy.
Fool. Stupid fellow.
Tobo. Orion, yeah, dear.
A fool.
Or ye Jimmy for.
A stupid fellow.
Sanseni.
Dullard.
Or
a dog.
Also. Nefuka kraka. Why a coach and a Jimmy?
Simpleton.
Only just an Africa here.
Do you know that this is the exact description of the African? What don't we have? The white man who cannot grow anything in his land. He is the one who comes down to Africa and decides how much he should pay for what he gets from us. Africa, you are so loaded. All what the African man thinks of what he would eat for today. Because of this, a certain old man gave a proverb. He says that there was a huge house that was being built, and a white man was brought to the building, as well as a black man. And the black man was called. Stand aside. And the white was also called to stand beside. And there was someone at the top of the building. And the person screamed, "White man, look up." And when he looked up, he saw a very huge thing coming down to fall upon him. And this is what the white man did. He covered his head, protecting his mind. But the black man, look up. All what the black man could think of the food he was going to lose. He placed his hands. He placed his hand, one hand on his mouth and the other on his torso. He was only thinking of what he would eat. When the white man was thinking of his head and his mind, the black only thought of his mouth and his private area.
Donald Trump did at him.
Donald Trump insulted the black man. It's not an insult. That is how we are in our star. I told you from the beginning that you will be sad.
Fool.
Fool.
Stupid fellow.
Stupid fellow.
A dullard.
Dullard.
Simpleton.
Simpleton.
Arrogant one.
In his simpletonness, he is also arrogant.
Arrogant.
Then from Strong's definition. Fat. Stupid or silly.
Stupid or silly.
Foolish.
So what's a comedy?
If you watch a lot of comedies, in the arrangement of comedies, the ones who are mostly fat,
usually they represent that. Why? Because of Orion. There's something wrong somewhere. We are fat with riches, fat with resources. At the end, be a bauxite will be.
What don't we have? Bauxite,
gold.
gold.
The most resourceful continent in the world is Africa. And the most resourceful place in the world is Central Africa. And the most resourceful nation in the world, I'm told, is it Congo? Dr. Congo, the most resourceful continent in the world. Every resource, the most resourceful continent in the world, mineral, country. Congo, the most resourceful continent in the world, the most resourceful country in the world, Dr. Congo. Yet they have always been at war, ever since. And it is in the midst of the war. Let's ask ourselves what happened in Liberia. Who were the people behind the Liberian war? And why was it so? Because of minerals that Europe wanted. Let's ask ourselves. Let's make them fight. Then we'll take what belongs to them. What's happening in Dr. Congo? As they fight, then they give them guns to fight. Then they take their minerals for the guns. In Tiabiasipa, will be edituo. Say, me gold.
So what at all is wrong with us? That somebody will walk up to you and tell you that you have gold, and the person will bring you guns to fight your brothers so that he will take your gold. Take these guns and give us your bauxite so that you'll be able to kill yourselves.
COVID-19, I'm fire.
We should thank God that COVID-19 didn't kill all of us. The truth of the matter is, if truly COVID-19 was so infectious that sitting with each other, we should have all been infected, then we should thank God because all of us would have been gone.
Africa, because
based on this severity, if it had happened here in Africa, we should have all been wiped away. Because no matter what you do, at one point in time, you might have gotten it. And we should thank God that mosquitoes have fortified us.
People of God.
Man of God.
The sweet influences is on top of Africa. The Orion belt is below the Pleiades. And Orion has been tied. He's fat, he's silly, he's stupid, he's a foolish fellow. Those words hurt that Africa in the stars is described. And foolish.
Even the stars are making us know that we are foolish.
That's why so be back actually.
It's hurting for someone to tell you you are a fool. But the truth is, that is who we are. I just want to ask you a question. Just here at CAF. Just because of kinship, chieftaincy, That huge building that was put up in the 70s was used for nothing. And now it has been crashed. We are rebuilding it. What exactly is wrong with us? Listen, in those days, people had nowhere to live, yet we have houses. Yet this huge edifice was there, uncompleted. And the house, that building cost
almost all the buildings in Konfanochi there.
Yeah, that building was huge. That building was huge.
Africa.
What is wrong with Africa?
Orion, before Taurus constellation, and the Taurus constellation holding the sweet influences of the Pleiades. And do you know what? When you look within the Taurus constellation, up there is Pleiades. That tells you the guy riding Taurus is Europe. And up there in Taurus is Pleiades. Pleiades is the sweetest. Everybody loves Europe. Sweet influence. What happened? Can I talk to you?
Yes, Pastor.
A man called Jacob did something for some people. And we are suffering it today. Joseph had two sons. One was Manasseh, the other was Ephraim. Ephraim was the youngest. Manasseh was the oldest. He presented his children before his father. Then instead of Jacob blessing this way, he said, I will change the inheritance. And he crossed his hand like this. The beginning of problem. Crossed his hand. And everything changed. He crossed his hand. And everything changed. Jacob, why did you cross your hand? Do you know why? He told his sons, come before me, that I may tell you what will befall you in the latter days. He was a prophet. He saw us. He saw something that was going to happen in the latter days. He saw it. He crossed his hand. And in the whole world, there is only one flag that has a crossing of the hand. Somebody say, what is that country? There is a country, the flag of that country is called Unity Jack. And Jack, Jacob. And those of you that have been to the United Kingdom, you will see that the United Kingdom is not the same as Britain. And there are distinctions. Because Britain is, if I'm right, Wales, England, and then Scotland. Am I right? Then, Britain is part of the United Kingdom, making up Northern Ireland. That blue and red flag you will see that in there is a crossed line. And the whole flag, you can just type it and look for Unity Jack flag. The only flag that will pop up is the United Kingdom, where the woman sits on that throne. Who is this woman? Why the crossing of the hand? Very simple. Ships from Tarshish. And the word of God is explicit concerning Britain and the United Kingdom. The destiny of nations. Do you know what they did? They did everything in their power to get the stone referred to as the stone of destiny, the stone of Skun, the stone of destiny, the stone of Scone, and placed it under the throne of the Queen of England, who is the Queen of Britain, who is the Queen of the United Kingdom. Because the capital of Britain is England, and the capital of the United Kingdom is England. So you can see the stone of Scone, the stone of destiny, and people of God, the stone of destiny is also referred to as the stone of Jacob's pillow. It is on this stone that kings were coronated. You were made to sit on the stone. And do you know that in 2023, King Charles is going to be coronated on this stone? After a long while, he's going to be coronated, made to sit. Why? Because this stone, if you have it, it will make you control all the stars. Because it is on this stone that the gates of heaven opened. It's an altar. Jacob slept on the stone and saw heaven open. I want to show you a couple of things. I'll say them quickly in passing. Who is Brit-ish? Ish is a Hebrew word which means man. Brit is a Hebrew word which means covenant. Brit-ish. Covenant man. Who are the British? The British are a part of the United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom has its capital as England. And the British has their capital as England. What does it mean, England? We understood Europe. What does it mean, England? Anglo-Saxon. What does it mean, England? Remember that we are looking at a land and we are looking at E-N-G. England. England. The word England is already in the scriptures. We see that the Bible speaks concerning a people referred to as an Igel, Ain, Jemel, Lamed. I'll show everything to you. I'm telling you the entire story and then I'll go forward. From which we have the derivation Ein land. Ein land. Ain. Ain. Jemel. Lamed. Ain land. Who are these people? When you look at the coat of arms of the nation of England, you see a depiction or a communication. And within the coat of arms, you will see a lion and a bull in the coat of arms of England. Under the coat of arms of England is a writing which is Dieu et mon droit. What does it mean? God and my birthright. I want you to follow the things that I'm saying. Dieu. I want to ask you people a question. Why will a country that speaks English use French? We'll talk about that later. But something is being communicated. Dieu est mon droit. Dieu, we all know is God. We all know is mon. We all know is my. Droit, rights. God and my birthright. God and my birthright. Why do they have God and their birthright? And when you look in there, you will see the symbol of David right in there. The harp of David is right in there. I'm not going to all the four symbols. Let me just deal with it quickly. So, on the coat of arms to the right is a lion, and to the left is a bull or a unicorn. Why is it so? When you check the scriptures, the Bible refers to Ephraim as a bull, as a unicorn. Ephraim. When you check the scriptures, Judah is a lion. Judah is a lion. So Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, an Ephrathite from Ephraim of Zereda, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruah, a widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against the king. So Solomon of Judah had a servant called Jeroboam, and he decided to make him controller of the northern kingdom. Then Jeroboam came up with a plan that to sit back and watch the entire northern kingdom go on pilgrimage to the southern kingdom of Judah. Soon they will come back and overthrow him. So what he decided to do now was to make up 2 golden bulls, 2 golden cows. We all know this already, of the northern kingdom. And this was a sin that God detested. Remember, Jeroboam is an Ephrathite. Jeroboam is from Ephraim. And this was the cause that lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo and the breaches of the city of David, his father. You can check me out on all of this, and I'll give you the scriptures to read. Let's tell the story so that we can finish quickly. When I'm done, I'll give you all the story. So the Bible said, Solomon made him the ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. And it was Joseph that gave birth to Ephraim and Manasseh. So here we have Jeroboam the Ephrathite giving the control of the northern kingdoms, and now he makes an image to represent his kingdom, which is the bull, the 2 golden calves. And Ephraim, who is a standard in the warfare of Israel, had the ox or the bull as its representation. Then Moses, after Jacob had prophesied concerning the destiny of Ephraim and Manasseh, Moses came and made it worse. Moses, in declaring all that Jacob had said, added some more to it. And by the reason of what he said, Moses was looking at US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Nigeria, Ghana, British Commonwealth, and he prophesied concerning what is coming into the world. In Deuteronomy 33 verse 17, he said, his glory is like the firstling of his bullock. Remember, the first of his bullock. Who made Ephraim the first? The crossing of the hand. To now make Ephraim the head of Manasseh, instead of Manasseh, the head of Ephraim. And his horns are like the horns of unicorns. Watch this. With them, he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. With them, he shall push the people. He will push the people together to the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of USA, Manasseh. I'll deal with that soon. Don't want to go and come back to this again. Enough is enough. What is happening here? When you read Deuteronomy 33, they are the blessings that Jacob blessed his children with until verse 16. It is in verse 17 that Moses adds on. He said his glory is like the firstling of his bullock. His horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them, he will push the people together to the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. When you look at the United Kingdom Parliament House, The Parliament House of the United Kingdom is made up of two houses: the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Why is a parliament divided into two houses? The lower chamber and the upper chamber. The House of Lords is the upper chamber. The House of Commons is the lower chamber. The House of Commons, they deal with taxes and money. And the House of Lords, they deal with the suggestions as suggested by the House of Commons. They now look at it and approve it, and then the Queen will append his signature. That is how the system of rulership of the great United Kingdom operates. But there is something there. Hear this. In the House of Lords, they are not voted into power. It is by reason of lineage. It is by the appointment of the Queen. And the moment one of your family members is appointed in there, you are the blessed. And you are referred to as the aristocratic of the United Kingdom, not the commoners. So in UK, there are the commoners and there are the aristocrats. There are the commoners, the common people. And there are the lords. So who are the lords and who are the commoners? The commoners are represented by the bull. The lords are represented by the lion. The lion rules. And the bull follows the masses. So in the House of Commons, there is what is referred to, like we do in Ghana here, voting by the public. The commoners vote, but not in the House of Lords. So in the United Kingdom, there are the lords of the United Kingdom, the owners of the United Kingdom. And there are those who can be brought in and sacked at any time. In the House of Lords, you obtain it by inheritance. And they are the ones who actually manage whatever is happening. On the floor of the House of Commons, it's all about money and taxes, money and taxes. But the rule legislature is only suggestions from the House of Commons, and the House of Lords will look into it, decide it, and hand it over to the Queen. And the Queen will sign. Case closed. Watch this. Remember that in the book of Chronicles, the Bible says, concerning the sons of Jacob, that Jacob said, I have received Ephraim and Manasseh as my own children to replace Reuben and Simeon. And now he said concerning Joseph, I have given him the birthright. The birthright. 1 Chronicles. For Judah prevailed above his brethren. For Judah prevailed above his brethren. For the lion of the tribe of Judah, the lion is of Judah. He prevailed above his brethren. And of him came the chief ruler. But the birthright was Joseph's. The birthright was Joseph's. God and my birthright. What does it mean? Dieu est mon droit. God and my birthright. What is about God? His kingdom was represented by Judah. For unto him shall the gathering of the people be. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from him between his feet, until Shiloh cometh. God and my birthright. God and my birthright. The lion speaks of God. The birthright speaks of the bulls. The House of Commons and the House of Lords. For the chief ruler shall come from Judah, but the birthright will come from Ephraim. And Ephraim has been made ruler over Manasseh. When you understand this, you now begin to appreciate why Britain took center stage in the regathering of the nation of Israel. the place of Britain. And later on, we'll look at how Britain conquered Germany in the person of Esau. In the person of Esau. All of these things are in the scriptures, where Hitler was going to come from. And you remember that I told you already that Hitler was an Edomite. And we went all the way down. If you remember, I did this teaching many years ago. Who is Hitler? Why he hated the Jews? Because of the birthright. And it was already prophesied that Britain was going to conquer Germany. It's in the scriptures. And today when you touch on Germany and Britain, you don't even want to imagine the hatred between them. Because Germany wants to rule Europe. But by divine arrangement of the stone of Scone, they have taken all over Europe. Because they have the gates to heaven. Whatever you try to do against Britain, unless you go beyond the gates, and they are the ones standing in the gates of heaven. The traffic of the universe, is it any wonder? Many people don't understand. Why when the queen died, there was a sign in the heavens of the rainbow. All of these things are appointments of what is happening in our universe towards the end time.
Pastor Obed, always a blessing.